Hi class, I just wanted to check in briefly. We are already at Unit 6. We have a couple more units and our time together was already ending. That finish line is quickly approaching. I wanted to check in with you as you approach personality disorder discussion board, your initial post as well as your peer response posts. Something to kind of remember and keep cognizant is that individuals with personality disorders very rarely come in for the treatment of the personality disorder themselves. Maybe they're coming in with some complaint about a relationship status, or they're being brought in and recommended to attend from work or some other factor. But it's not ever really, almost never, someone saying, you know, I'm recognizing this is a character flaw or deficit, something I want to improve. How do I work on this area? It's not where we're managing anxiety or depression, right? And looking at how to contain those aspects. And so as clinicians, our job is really to challenge belief, right? Because a personality disorder has strong core beliefs, challenge belief and experience in a gentle way for self-reflection as capable. Often individuals with personality disorders struggle with that self-awareness and insight, but more importantly, to kind of help those who are in relation manage that. Right, and so by that I mean, you know, what is this person trying to trigger? How do you manage your own triggers, right? So if you have close contact with someone who has antisocial personality disorder or even narcissistic personality disorder, how do you manage when you're feeling you're being manipulated? The person, right, who's kind of the victim of that personality disorder. You know, if I'm being manipulated, how does that feel? What do I do? How do I contain my response, my exposure, and set a boundary that's healthy? And so really that's what you're working with as a clinician, because the individual who has a personality disorder is very unlikely to see that and look to change it. Another thing to consider is how personality disorders develop, right? And so looking at, you know, we can look back at our Bowlby, right, Ainsworth, and our early attachment, as well as exposure to ACEs, right, so adverse childhood experiences, right, some traumatic events or disruption, kind of how those two things interplay and kind of create how one protects oneself, right? So although maybe maladaptive in many ways, personality disorders are really a coping strategy that develops to kind of protect oneself. And so looking at that, lastly, just something to remain aware of is that there is no medication intervention for personality disorders. There's, you know, we're not going to take a certain combination of psychotropics and have that personality disorder go away. And so, you know, treatment is really a different type of approach. So posts I've seen so far, really great engagement. I like what I'm seeing. Keep it up. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or put it in the discussion Q&A. Thanks and have a great week.